Hi everyone, Susie here from Minnesota, and I garden in a zone 4B, and it is the end of June, and I'm taking you on, I would say, my backyard tour. A lot of people are out front. Hopefully not too much noise back here. I'm not going to go over all the varieties, just kind of what's looking good, some issues. So it's really difficult to see. This is Annabelle hydrangea. Has not flopped yet. It's doing good. We haven't had much rain. I would say in May and June, maybe 2 inches. And that might be pushing it. So a lot of hostas, they're just looking horrible. That vibrant green is gone. If you're new to my channel, I had 2 huge trees taken down in the winter, so which has turned this into full sun. It just bakes back here, so everything is faded. And then lack of moisture, just they're pulling through. We'll just say they're surviving, but thriving, not really. Pagoda dogwood, golden shadows, pushed out new foliage, which is weird, but this is the old. It's a shade tree. Like, it likes shade. So unfortunately, this is looking horrible. Hopefully it can pull through. It's one of my favorite trees, but I can't give it the shade now that it needs. This is, I think, a coralberry. This has put on so much height. I mean, it was maybe about 6 inches. So this is doing really good. Ligularia looks good right now. We've got some cloud coverage. Otherwise, we've been in the 90s and then very dry. Just, it's taken its toll. That Ligularia will wilt around. This gets hot, blazing sun about 3-4 o'clock. This is a juga. This is not minding it at all. It's starting to go all over, and that's fine. It's got a lot of area to cover back here. I like the tiny white 9 barks. I do have 3 back here just for that purple black foliage. I think it looks really good amongst the gold. I have some Sun Kings, and that's scorching. These were ones I moved from a different garden, and they're doing actually, I think, pretty good. This hosta is loving it. Look at all those. This usually does put out a lot of blooms though. And this Sun King gets more shade, you can see, doing a lot better, and with that blue foliage, I think that looks amazing. I did move one of my Stonehenge yews. This is the only one that looked good enough, so I think it'll do good. I mean, eventually it can just kind of fill in this whole area. And this is Avant-Garde Clematis. So just seems to die to the ground every year, so it's not one I would recommend. Very weak performer. Lots of Sabaria sorbifolia sem. You'll see it is all over. This runs all over my garden. Love it, but it is a thug. Viticella Polish Spirit Clematis looks amazing. Better this way. More vibrant purple in the front. It's more faded because of all the sun. And this is Pink Mink. Sorry, Pink Mink. And then more Sabaria sorbifolia sem. So it's, be careful when you plant that. My compost bins, I just want to show you this. I have a tomato coming out. That's a pretty good stalk in there, so I'm leaving it. Just taking a break in the shade, because now I'm going to be in full sun. I might do something back here, I don't know. I'm still leaving them, just kind of thinking about what I want to do. It'd be more vegetables. Just want to show you this real quick over here before I forget. But this had self-seeded from last year. I think it's a Zabrina. Look at that. I haven't watered this at all. Actually, my hose kept running over it. Talk about, look at that. That is just beautiful. And that is not the only one. I've got more, and I left them. They're so pretty. I just, had to show you this. When we did have some rain, it just kind of battered all the petunias, which is fine because now this can pop through, and that's an artichoke, and it looks amazing. So then these will start just kind of filling in and popping in. Rhubarb's doing pretty good. Look. This is a Lisianthus. I grew this from seed since December. I only have 3 rows in here. They were the better looking ones, and I just didn't want to take up too much room, to tell you the truth, but that's really pretty. I did another sowing of zucchini. I do stagger this because I can't eat that much of zucchini, just maybe a couple days ago. And then looking good. All of this should start wilting soon. Beans, I don't know what's going on with my beans. They should not be climbing. I know some do this, but there are some that are just a tangled mess. Look at that. 2 different varieties too, so. Marigolds look great. It's just where I throw my weeds. And why this is wilting. And this one's not, and this one is. But 2 different varieties, so maybe I did water this too. Yeah, I don't know. I have 1 cucumber on in here. I do have a lot of fruit forming, so hopefully. Hardy hibiscus looks good. It's pretty much stopped growing, and just due to, I did water it last night, but I think buds are starting to form on it. It should be taller than that, but it's just, so far, what, the last 3 years, we've had such dry seasons, which is not normal, but it's becoming the norm. Loving the marigolds. And tomatoes are doing good. The delphinium here, I need to deadhead. I've been deadheading on it. You can see, just kind of letting the side shoots come out. Look. I didn't realize that it was gonna bloom again. There's 3 over here. So I deadheaded all of them in hopes to get more. Loving the grasses. They did get a little tall, so the thing is when I moved the miscanthus from here, it left such a big crater, so I used potting mix, spent potting mix, to fill it in. And so I'm thinking there might have been some fertilizer left in that from last year. They should not be this tall, so they should, but I'm not minding it. They're not massive, but I'm just a little surprised at that height, but it's probably because of the spent potting mix. And that's a hydrangea. It is budding up. You can feel some in there. I had really cut that down. This one's doing a bit better. Look at lots of buds on this one. Again, I did water this last night. Otherwise, I haven't watered much of anything. Just anything new that I planted. Another lupin. Delphiniums look pretty good. They are going over, some of them are, and some are just starting. I love the grass. cicadas are out along with the birds, so you can tell July is around the corner. But yeah, I love this. Yesterday it was windy, so lots of movement in the garden, which I absolutely love. I moved my bird bath, and this was in all of the Sabaria sorbifolia stem. So this is concrete but super heavy. I've had this was, it's gotta be 20 years old. So, but yeah, I moved it by myself, and that was kind of stupid, but I did it. And then this is looking good. This is the Astrantia, throwing off some more spikes. But I still love the delphiniums with the Veronica, Pink Goblin, which I love this one. White Wands is okay, but tends to fade amongst everything else. So it's just, I don't know. But can you see all the pollinators and activity? And then the Rose Campion is doing so good. Roses have a few blooms left. I need to get in there and deadhead. They'll keep blooming throughout the season, but look, my baby's breath is blooming. Lamb's ear is just, I'm just letting it do this right now. I know it's a little out of control, and I just think it's unique. Pollinators love it. I will come in and trim at some point. Love the yarrow back there. I do not have a color theme in this garden. I just plant what makes me happy and what does good. I do like the yellow that breaks up a lot of the color in there. But the delphiniums back there, that light blue with the red, that's gorgeous. And then the bee balm. This was one plant, and it's taken a bit to get to this point. But it does spread, and I love it. Wee white hydrangea, I did water this yesterday. It was looking sad. And then hardy geranium is wilting. It's supposed to be in the 90s now for the next week. It's not super hot, but it is just hot enough for things to just not like it. And if we'd have some good rain, it wouldn't be doing that. This is totally tangerine dahlia, and I don't know how I'm liking it because it's just kind of, I don't know. And then there's a bloom on the other side, and it's not doing it for me right now. Pulling Baffin, climbing rose. Will bloom throughout the season now. Not a huge show, but enough. Now I need to get in here and deadhead. It's putting out some new growth here. You can see it, I can't see it. There's a glare in my camera. Purple pavement rose is amazing. I will deadhead this one. And then this will flush out again. So I hacked back my lilac probably about by half. It was just, it was doing fine, but can you see all that open? So it was just due to the winter and the heavy snow. I had a lot of branches that split. So especially in the middle, there are some that I still need to get out, but I cannot get in there. So it's just gonna have to make do. I do have, if you can see, some budding out here, so that makes me happy. I've been watering this since I did do that, just because it's not optimal growing conditions right now. I did make more room over here for the little lime light hydrangea, and it's looking okay, not the best. But this one never really does good for me. But this one does. This is budding up, always the first one. So these hydrangeas have been here for 9 years. And then there's some in the front. And there's people in front, so sorry. But they're surviving, they're not thriving. I don't have anything set up on drip, so they would appreciate a little more moisture than what they're getting. I'm just gonna stand under my umbrella for just a little bit. My pansy baskets, I'm leaving. They're yellowing, they're not the prettiest, but it's just a small container inside, and there's rock in that one. It's doing okay. Oh, I was going to show you this. That's why I came over here. If you can see, the activity on here was crazy. The Veronica. Another one, I'll walk over there. But I love the Veronica. It's one of my favorite. This I started from seed. It's doing so good. Again, I love the marigolds. Oh, I wanted to show you some of my tomatoes over here. Like, can you see that? Again, just doing so good. This is probably one of my favorites. I don't know what it is about that, but it doesn't look like she picked a flower here. I just have a little fairy set there, but yeah, it just makes me smile. I need to water, lots of wilting, but it's intense sun right now, beating off the siding, so there is that too. Some of it does need some, but caladiums are doing pretty good. I have to love these pelargoniums. And then I will be getting a bud here. This is a Texas Star Hibiscus. I was a little worried that I wasn't. These dahlias they're supposed to get tall. I do have them staked up. It might be a little bit of an eyesore, but I think it'd be worse if they would fall over. But I'm gonna have buds here, and I do have this stake right here. Whoops, my little doorstop. Alchemilla, I leave it until I don't like those blooms anymore. I just like it when it does. I just think it softens the edges and it still offers some color here. This garden has the most color. Like I said, there is no color theme here. Oh, I was like, what? There's a dragonfly. The pita still looks good. I do have some browning in here. Incredible hydrangea back here was wilting yesterday, so I did give that some water also. Looks good. And then the daylilies, I have a feeling the daylilies this year are just going to do nothing. There's like one bloom stalk in there and that's it, but it's dry, which is sad because I was hoping for a little more of a show this year from them with the more sun. I may move them, or I might just do some more shrubs there. The Sabaria sorbifolia sem is a pollinator magnet also. You just have to be careful. It is just buzzing in here. I don't know if you can see them. This is probably, I mean, I would say between 12 to 15 feet wide, and it just keeps going to town. So it's aggressive. Oh, and then another honeysuckle back here. I don't know if you can see it. I'm loving that color. And it's a low maintenance shrub. Just have to be careful. And this is all new down here. They're really pretty. Lots of interest with this shrub, but this is only one plant. It's probably been here for at least 10 years. They're super fuzzy. Here. Loving the purple back there with the clematis with the white blooms of the shrub. Oh, got some cloud coverage right now. Better zoom out. That would make more sense. These are all tree root shoots. They are so annoying, but they're usually back within a couple days of mowing. And right now I don't dare because a lot of my lawn is brown and scorched, and what you're seeing is mainly weeds. I don't have a whole lot of grass left. This is all clover over here. Honeybees love it, so. I need to deadhead the valerian here. I'm sure it has self-seeded all over, but this is heavily mulched. It'll be fine. It still smells good. We got some pretty toasty looking ferns down here. I'm thinking eventually I might turn this into a tiny little pond area. It's the lowest spot in my garden and always has the most water issues. I did move this because this was over here, and I moved this. This is in the front of my house on the corner. This is a red hardy hibiscus, and it just stopped growing. We needed the rain in May just to kind of carry us through, and never did. So I'm hoping it likes it, but it can have this whole area. I think something big here would look really good anyway. I like the Annabelle hydrangea popping through. Hostas are flowering. That's okay. I'll let them do what they want to do. This is definitely not the year of the hosta for sure. Astilbe's doing good. I'm just surprised. I normally don't have Okay, I thought there was something in there. Best luck with the Stilby, but it's just, I don't have anything set up on drip, so it does require a lot of moisture. This is as cool as a cucumber house I had in a different area. I moved it here. And so these hostas just are not. This one last year was probably 3 times the size. And this is already burning. And then this one is, these are all supposed to be huge hostas, and that's just what happens when you don't have the right amount of moisture. Look at this container. It's just massive. So I do have an artichoke in here. It's just getting, let's just say, choked out. Or, I mean, it's there. But that's okay. Everything else looks amazing. I mean, you think it's just marigolds and petunias. And I think they're just, the marigolds are acting like a little bit of a, and just holding up the petunias. And my, another little pansy basket. Not too bad. Humpback whale. I don't think I've ever seen it throw off this many flower spikes, so this one's definitely happy. Okay, I've got a dwarf goat's beard. It's cute. And then just a teeny tiny little one over here. Look at all the blooms on that tiny plant. Another Astilbe. This one's doing pretty good. Loving the lemony lace elderberry. I do love this grass. It probably is one of my favorite ones right now. I love the Korean featherweed grass because that one is later in the season. So I hear a lot of people say, you know, northern climates can plant hostas in full sun. Well, this just gets morning sun and a lot of it, and this area stays a little wetter, and I would not recommend that. This looks good. I moved one here, but then I'm just wondering, I was thinking about moving this container of caladiums over there, because I just feel like this is a little close to the air conditioning, and then my rain barrel, if it ever gets filled up, I just think it would do better and offer some color. So I might say goodbye to that little dude here and just put it right in here. Goat's beard, love it. I leave it. This offers a lot. Another cool is a cucumber, but something definitely is munching on that. The hoochras here have been amazing. I haven't deadheaded this, and look it still has its flower spikes. Is that not amazing? It's been flowering for, at least a good month. I'm kind of wondering if maybe we've been so dry and they're just dried flowers now. I know they last long, but that's really cool. This pulmonaria, I think, is doing good because I'm watering the tree and it's getting moisture that way. Otherwise, this is huge. And also, the ajuga looks fantastic. The ivory halo dogwood is burning, so this is taking a lot of water to make this one happy. I do have a pixie fountain tufted hairgrass. I think I just put this here. So I think this can just fill in this area and offer some wispiness back here. I mean, is that not? So I'm just showing you lots of good and some bad. These have done really good. I am shocked. And that silly string hosta. Dancing Queen is gorgeous. This is World Cup next to it. And then I did plant a clematis over here. This is Henryi. So gets a lot of sun, so we'll see how that works. I just wanted a taller support. So this is probably 5.5 feet tall. I did put a close a cucumber hosta here. My neighbor got 3 of them, so I'm just running out of room, and I am not expanding my garden beds anymore. I think this is a this is a good size. These are Siberian cypress. There is some browning, but I mean, all in all, I like how, you know, it's putting out some growth this way. It's supposed to be more of a ground cover, so these should grow in eventually. Just kind of make a little bit of a carpet here. I don't know if you can see the grasses from here. Look at that. So I'm kind of 50-50 with the blooms on my hostas. At this point, they're offering some color over here. Some of them look really good. Some get really lanky. Those I cut off, but if they're not too bad. The pollinators like it. The hummingbirds love them. Look at, here, I'll go around. This is amazing. This is Prince Tut grass. Look at how many fronds have to come out. And I just have it in this, I put in this black container, a nursery can, so it is doing amazing. I do have it in like a little drip tray, so it keeps the water, because this is amazing. I'm almost thinking it's gonna get too big for this area. Looks like he's got like a wacky hair or ponytail. Love it. I just have this bucket here. It's where I put weeds whenever, or the tree root shoots. It's a little slower of a tour. Got a good amount blooming, and I think just enough. Got some trimming to do on the containers, like this one especially. This I'll probably trim, but look how short these bloom stalks are. so happy I moved this here, the bird bath. It's been fun watching the birds. The goldfinches, oh, it's just been so neat. They've actually been fighting over it. I felt bad, but they can figure it out. And then I just wanted to, this is a firelight tidbit back there. I don't know, it doesn't look too happy. I know it's supposed to be small, but even that foliage is yellowing. And that's not chlorosis, that is just due to no rain. Because a lot of the foliage on these plants are just that yucky, can't explain it. I think some of you will know. Just kind of like an olive green almost. So yeah, another beautiful daylily. I am getting some in here though, so at least it's not going to be a complete, yeah, maybe. All right, so hopefully you enjoyed, and I'm gonna go sit over there and enjoy my garden and probably plug my fan in, because there is no little tiny breeze, but not enough to cool a person down. So hopefully you enjoyed. Bye for now.